Amnesty for Militancy by Dr. Nazir Gilani. There would hardly be a soul of Kashmiri origin across the three administrations of the state of Jammu and Kashmir or living anywhere outside these territories, who would not like to be counted as equal among Indians, Pakistans and other people for the purposes of a full regime of human rights and finally for the right of self-determination. There may be a debate on the question of self-determination, but there could be no dispute about the fact that the citizens of the state of Jammu and Kashmir have to use all manner of means to defend their status as equal people. The question that our generations and history would ask of us will be as to whether 1990 was the right time to author the script of Militancy, and whether the script to staged Militancy was written by a ghost author and whether it was a mistake to own the authorship by locals. There is no denying the fact that Kashmiris of all manner in all disciplines of life failed to author their own political and militant script and force India and Pakistan to discharge their trust obligations. They failed to live up to the wisdom that was required of them to keep the international community on their side. One fails to find an explanation as to what anesthetized the whole nation, that it did not have the basic ability to start understanding the political arithmetic that Kashmir was not being addressed at the UN as an issue from November 1965 to August 1996 for almost 31 years. If the 1990 experiment had succeeded, we would have world on our side and we would not have been begging India and Pakistan to start talking and to include not all but the genuine leadership in these discussions. We are not prepared to accept that from 1990 to date we have witnessed the death of a generation. In numerical terms it means the death of self-determination. We are not prepared to accept that we have over 5.97 lakh unemployed youth in Kashmir. History will ask of us that we have been responsible to stigmatize our youth. Militant or mujahid, renegade and surrendered militants are other boxes where we have imprisoned and demoralized our youth. They have started joining the CRPF, BSF and other security forces which they would engage against and fight at one time. Those who have stranded in AJK or in Pakistan have their own story to tell. Some of them have started merging into the local conditions and have made a successful deal out of their brief association with militancy. They have played smart in realizing that playing a non-Kashmiri dulcimer would fetch the reward. Kashmir, in particular the valley, has been over-politicized and people seem to have given up on other responsibilities that would have helped in the protection of life, honor and property. If all of us are not guilty of hiding our faces in the sand and trying to deny the realities that surround us, then the statement of the outgoing Union Home Secretary, G.K. Pillai, that there are less than 100 local militants in Kashmir. Nobody would even talk to them. They don't represent anybody, should shake us into a life of responsibility to ourselves and to others connected with us. The statement that some 3,000 Kashmiri men are in Pakistan living in trying conditions, involved in petty jobs, many of them even begging, according to people who have visited the area. They have been writing to and calling up their families to express their desperation to return home. If the government gives them amnesty, should not only shame us into accepting that we have betrayed these young people, but it should shake us into asking for an explanation from those who have remained connected in one or the other manner with the ownership of militants and the ownership of the gun. It would be a criminal liability if the militant and the gun have been used as a means to make a good living. Home Secretary has said that the scheme to grant amnesty to Kashmiri militants in Pakistan who want to surrender and return home will take off soon. We have announced the scheme for those who are across and want to come over and take amnesty. The scheme has been announced, and in the next few months you will see lots of Kashmiris who had gone to that side will start coming. It is very unfortunate that it would be the government of India and the government of J&K again who would be concerned about the rehabilitation of these returnees. These youth and many others should have been a common concern of Kashmiri nation as a whole, and their leaders should have taken a lead role in ensuring that these youth don't end up as the worst victims of a bad planning. The best way forward should have been the setting up of a common fund wherein India, Pakistan, the three governments of Kashmir, Kashmiri diaspora, United Nations, European Union, OIC and ICRC could have been asked to contribute. Government of India and the Government of J&K of course have a duty towards any Kashmiri who wishes to return to his or her home. They have a right to return in safety and in dignity. but the present context makes these surrendered youth a different species who would have very poor moral and political reflex left after they become beneficiaries of the rehab policy announced by the Government of India. The statement of G.K. Pillai that the largest Kashmiri guerrilla group, the Hizbul Mujahideen, has been almost vanquished now, and if the militant leadership based in Pakistani Kashmir wants to join the peace process, they needs to be examined at a non-militant level as well. Pakistan-based militant leader Syed Salahuddin is not a militant by birth or by profession. He is a teacher by profession. However, once he decided to lead a militant disciple, he has started accruing amongst many other responsibilities a moral responsibility towards these youth and the people of Kashmir. Political and militant struggle has to be conducted in reference to the collective best interests of the people. It would be very unfortunate if the militant leadership is seen forgetful about the youth who took up guns believing that the script was written in the best cause of their people and now have no other hope except landing in the rehabilitation schemes floated by the Government of India. At a non-militant level, it is our duty to ensure that militancy does not end up as an Aladdin's treasure for some in the valley, AJK, India, Pakistan, Europe and other parts of the world, and death, destruction, destitution and disgrace remain the fate for the rest. We should be prepared to take up a responsible position in the interests of our people, the full regime of their human rights, including the right of self-determination where all people are equal. It may be a difficult challenge, but a beginning has to be made. We should not leave it all to G.K. Pillai or after his retirement to his successor. We have a civic, moral, political and social duty as well. Author is London-based Secretary-General of JKCHR, NGO in special consultative status with the United Nations, and can be mailed at dr-nazir@jkchr.com.